My name is Damon Levine.
Hello, I am Romy Lay, and we will be your hosts of the evening.
So guests, would you please rise and join me in welcoming the Honorable Brenda Murphy, Lieutenant Governor of New Brunswick, and Her Honor Linda Boyle. Please also remain standing for the playing of the Vice-Regal Salute, also known as O Canada.
Chers invités, veuillez s'il vous plaît vous lever pour l'arrivée de l'honorable Brenda Murphy, lieutenant-gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick, et son honneur Linda Boyle. S'il vous plaît, restez debout lors du salut vice-royal au Canada.
Good evening, bonsoir. Thank you very much, folks. Mayor Reardon, Mayor Grant, Mayor Brittany Merrifield, Mayor Libby O'Hara, MLA Trevor Holder, I think I saw here, yes, and I'm sorry if I'm missing anyone else. Also, other municipal officials and members of the board of Prude, as well as award nominees. Linda et moi sommes heureux d'être ici parmi vous ce soir pour souligner le bon travail et les réalisations exceptionnelles des jeunes en nomination pour les prix de la diversité de Prude. We're so pleased to be here this evening to recognize the efforts and the accomplishments of the Prude Diversity Champion Award nominees. These individuals, organizations, and companies have worked tirelessly to promote diversity and inclusion in their fields. You are community leaders, community builders, and your resolve will leave a lasting impact on those you have helped directly and those who will benefit from you knocking down barriers in the future. We also celebrate the 40th anniversary of Prude Incorporated, which over the years has become a unifying force, leading by example in their work to advance equality and inclusion in St. John and in our province. Depuis sa fondation en 1981, Prude Incorporated travaille à s'assurer que tous les résidents de la grande région de Saint-Jean puissent participer de façon équitable au sein de la société. Tout le monde doit avoir l'occasion de se faire valoir et de s'intégrer, peu importe leurs origines. Les nouveaux arrivants jouent un rôle important au développement économique, amenant avec eux de nouvelles idées et des nouvelles façons de penser. Nous avons tous un rôle à jouer dans l'intégration des nouveaux arrivants et des gens vivant en marge de notre société pour faire en sorte que le Nouveau-Brunswick soit un endroit plus accueillant. Nous devons dénoncer les injustices auxquelles nous sommes témoins. By gathering here tonight, we're continuing to challenge systemic inequalities and find ways to reach out to those who have traditionally been left behind. In helping others gain the tools needed to succeed, we can make their voices heard, which is why education and literacy are a core priority for Prude Incorporated. Organizations like Prude Incorporated play an essential role in the development of New Brunswick's social fabric. We each come from diverse backgrounds and each have our unique life stories. That's what makes our province such a beautiful place. Prude Incorporated is a champion of diversity and inclusivity, promoting programs and initiatives that empower some of our most vulnerable citizens. Ensemble, nous pouvons créer des changements durables et améliorer la vie des gens en réduisant la discrimination et les inégalités sociales. By working together, creating partnerships like Prude Incorporated has been doing for 40 years, we can create lasting change that will improve people's lives while reducing all forms of discrimination and social inequalities. And just as I conclude my remarks, I wanted to mention the Sheila Croto Honorary Award. When Linda and I were here in 2019, we sat with her at the head table. And sadly, we didn't see her again after that. And I know just how much her tragic death was such a loss for both her family and for this community. Sheila was always working to make this world a better place for everyone. And my experience of her was that she very quietly yet very determinedly just went about trying to help people and trying to make things right. So she really was a gift to St. John and to our province, and this award tonight is a wonderful tribute and recognition of her contribution to our province. Also, congratulations to the 2021 Pru Diversity Champion nominees and ultimately recipients. Willie Wan Wilawan. Merci.
Thank you, Your Honor. As a provincial entity, Prut Inc. acknowledges that it carries out its work on the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoqiyik, Mi'kmaq, and Peskoto-Mukati peoples. This territory is covered by the Treaties of Peace and Friendship, which these nations first signed with the British Crown in 1726. The treaties did not deal with the surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqiyik title and established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations. We, the staff and members of the board, pay respect to the elders, past and present, and descendants on this land. We honor the knowledge keepers and seek their guidance as we strive to develop closer relationships with the Indigenous people in New Brunswick.
And we would like to make some acknowledgments tonight. Thank you. Yes, we can applaud for that. We would like to acknowledge the presence of some dignitaries tonight. We have Minister Trevor Holder, Minister Crossman, Minister Savoy, and Speaker of the House Bill Oliver, as well as Mayor of St. John, Donna Rood, Mayor of Rothsay, Nancy Grant, Mayor of Grand Bay Westfield, Brittany Merrifield, and Mayor of Quispamsis, Libby O'Hara. So please give a round of applause for our dignitaries. Thank you. So for our next speaker, I would like to welcome the past board president of Prud Incorporated, Mr. Ralph Thomas, to do some opening remarks. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about Ralph here that you might not know, or maybe you do know. Ralph Thomas has been recognized for his qualities as a leader, advisor, negotiator, mentor, role model, and motivator. He has received the Queen Elizabeth II Golden Jubilee Medal, the Human Rights Award, and many recognitions for his leadership in the community. He's also been inducted into several sports Hall of Fames beginning in 1997. He was on the board of Prud Incorporated for more than 30 years while advocating for Black and ethnic minority communities in New Brunswick. And in 2019, Ralph received an honorary doctorate from the University of New Brunswick, and this year, as many may know, he also was honored with the Order of New Brunswick. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Ralph Thomas.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to say very much tonight. I'm just here to get things going, and the big thing that I want to do is welcome everybody here to Prud's 40th anniversary. I'd like to also welcome the people to the Diversity Championships as well, which is going to happen later on tonight. Let me tell you a little bit of the story, and then I'm gone. 40 years, you imagine, 40 years Prud has been around helping the people that need help. No matter who comes through the door, it was our policy after a couple of years of forming that whoever came through that door, we would be one of the people that would help them, or one of the organizations that would help out. I can remember back, it's 35 years that I was connected with Prude and had the golden opportunity to work with Prude, an organization that worked with everybody, was what I was all interested about 35 years ago. Then I had the honor of 24 years of being Prude's president. And, you know, that is enough, no matter who's up there. That is enough because they get a little tired of you. So I'm glad that right now we're stepping into a new era. There's very sharp people at the Prude table nowadays, and on that Prude team, there's a team of about my last count was about 14 people, and out of that 14 people, there's dynamite people with action. They have an action plan, and they want to make that plan work. And that's happy. I'm glad to be able to be just sitting by as past president, help where I can, but I'm telling you, they don't need a whole lot of help. They have a strong leader, and you will hear from her. They now have a strong president. I had the honor to work with the new president, and she's been around, I'd say, 15 years. Maybe I'm off a little, you know, my memory's not as good as it used to be, but she's always been there when we needed her in a crisis. She's always been there when it was time to have fun. So that's all I need to say tonight. I just want to welcome you folks here. I want us to have a great evening because I'll tell you, Prude has a wonderful evening planned. Thank you very much.
We're brilliant, and as Ralph has told you, we're here for Prude's 40th anniversary. And what we're going to do next is show you several videos that we've prepared at Prude that document the history of the organization over the last 40 years. And we're going to do this while you begin dinner. So dinner will start to be served while you watch these videos. So please enjoy the story of Prude. Thank you.
These videos are beautiful. Do you all agree? Next, I would like to welcome our board president of Prude Incorporated, Mrs. Karen Hashi. Karen, a St. John native, has served on our board of directors in various capacities for more than 15 years. In that time, she has proven herself both an effective leader and a passionate advocate for diversity and inclusion. During her time with the organization, Karen has held executive positions such as treasurer and vice president. She has also led initiatives on finance, operations, mentoring, and fundraising, helping solidify Prude's strategy direction. Karen brings more than 20 years of banking and finance leadership to her role as president of Prude Inc. today. She is branch manager of St. John's RBC Royal Bank, McAllister Place. A recipient of numerous awards of recognition for her work in the community, Karen is currently second vice president of the New Brunswick Multicultural Council. Her outreach began with her passion for networking and a desire to learn and experience new things. She continues this outreach by sharing her experience and knowledge through mentoring and leadership in all her endeavors.
Thank you, Romy. So proud to have our Master of Ceremonies, the Prude staff here tonight. Can I have a round of applause for them? Damon and Romy. I also want to thank Ralph for his generous comments. I've been alongside of Ralph now for, I think, about 18 years, and he's truly an inspiration. He's about integrity, and he's what Prude is all about. And we hope to continue his legacy as we move forward. I was always happy to have Ralph in my corner and not anyone else's corner. And, oh, sorry, can you hear me? Yeah, I was always happy to have Ralph in my corner, in Prude's corner, and not in anyone else's corner. So thanks for those kind words, Ralph. It's super nice to be able to see everyone tonight and actually be with everyone tonight in these unusual circumstances. I guess they're kind of normal circumstances today, but I want to say it's awesome to see everybody and thank you for the turnout tonight. I wanted to officially get to my speech, which is to welcome everyone. Welcome friends, family, board members, and honored dignitaries. On behalf of the Prude Board of Directors, we want to thank you for coming out tonight to show both support for our diversity champions and for your consistent support of Prude, its mission, and over this last 40 years of time. Its full participation of all cultural communities in the social, cultural, and economic fabric of mainstream New Brunswick life, particularly here in the St. John region. We all know diversity matters, and we know you know diversity matters. That's why we're all here tonight. We want to honor those people and the organizations in our region who champion diversity and inclusion in their everyday operations. They leave it, they practice what they preach by making equity and inclusion a priority in their dealings. I want to list our diversity champion nominees who've been recognized in 7 categories. So the 7 categories we have are youth leader, education and heritage, community leader, immigrant entrepreneur, small business, corporate business, and honorary posthumous recognition. So thank you again to everyone for coming out to honor both these diversity champions and support the important work that Prude Incorporated does. So I want to just take a few minutes to read out some names who are particular individuals that we want to recognize through honorable mention for their exceptional support through Prude. It's been hard to actually think of everyone because we're talking back 40 years. I've been involved almost 20, and I'm sure there's many, many more people that have been involved as well as given much of their time back to the community through Prude Incorporated and its mission and what it does. But we found some names and we remember some people that we want to recognize, and apologize if we've left anyone out, but everyone came together to make this organization successful, and thank you for celebrating the 40 years with us tonight. So, of the founders, David Peters, Clifford Skinner. I want to recognize and give honorary mention to some of the former presidents and their families tonight, Raymond Richards and Barbara Richards, Ralph Thomas and Judith Meinert, Carl White. The former managing directors, Sylvia Sparks, Donna Spalding, and Jocelyn Stevens. Former board members, Joe Patterson, Shirley Patterson, Paulina Hogan, Margaret Gordon. Supporters, Howard Spalding, lawyer and advisor, Rolly McIntyre, who Ralph would say has always been in our corner, Skip Talbot, who's is faithfully always at Prude events and supporting us, the Sisters of Charity of the Immaculate Conception, the Hickey brothers, John, Richard, and Bill. Minister Trevor Holder, who is here tonight. We want to recognize also Elsie Wayne. Elsie was a former councillor and mayor of the city of St. John. Many of you would remember her. And also Shirley McAlery, who's a former councillor and mayor of the city of St. John. Again, thank you to many, many people of the community who made it happen and continued to work with Prude over the past years and attributed to our success today. So hope you have a great evening, and I'll turn it back over to Damon and Romy. Thank you.
We would like to say a special thank you to our dedicated staff member, Willington Vega, without whose help none of tonight's event would have happened and would have been even possible. So thank you, Willington. And thank you as well to this year's selection committee who made the selection process fair and efficient. The committee members are 2019 awards winner Dahlia Das, Lily Lynch from Sankara Cuisine, Angela Campbell and Heather White-Britton from Imperial Theatre, past Prout Inc. employees Sherry Macaulay and Amanda Beckwith, and our dedicated board members Jasmine Grimes, Cheyenne Saha, and Joe Terrio. Thank you. Everyone, please enjoy the videos of the nominees and enjoy your main course. Bon appétit.
So ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you back to the second half of our evening. And before we begin with our keynote speaker, we just want to thank a few of our sponsors tonight, our event sponsors. We want to thank Port St. John, RBC Royal Bank, Donna Mazzarola and Associates, Chartered Professional Accountants, and Joe Terrio from QP National. So it is my, thank you, yes, thank you. So it is my honor to introduce this evening's keynote speaker. Dr. Petra Hoff is the Vice President of the University of New Brunswick here at St. John. She's a dynamic leader who is actively engaged in all campus affairs, including academics, administration, and operations. As an internationally renowned researcher, she is building on UNB's momentum as a global leader in research and continuing to advance UNB as a research-focused institution. Through her involvement with the Integrated Health Initiative, community engagement at Living St. John, the Regional Economic Development Agency for Greater St. John, Opportunities New Brunswick, and the Atlantica Center for Energy, she is realizing her vision to develop strong partnerships with the UNB community and the community of St. John. So without further ado, please welcome UNB Vice President, Dr. Petra Hoff.
Wow, who is that person? I would like to meet her. I'm pleased to see Her Honor Lieutenant Governor Brenda Murphy, and ministers and mayors, and from across our region, here to recognize the crucial role inclusion plays in our province. Tonight, we are also celebrating Prout's 40th anniversary of promoting multiculturalism and strengthening communities through public education and awareness. Thank you for having me here this evening. I'm truly honored to be selected as keynote speaker at such an event. And you might ask yourself right now, who is this woman, and what has she done to be a keynote speaker tonight? I can assure you, I asked exactly the same question. So let's wait and see. Prout is dedicated to educating both newcomers and those born in Canada through programming and events, and has contributed to growth of our city for 40 years, and will continue to make St. John a better place. They describe themselves as finding inspiration in movement, transition, and cultural difference. We find inspiration in them. I'm pretty sure everyone in this room can share stories about Prout and their impact. I would like to take this opportunity to speak about my encounter with Prout. I met Ralph Thomas for the first time just a few weeks after I had started my position as a new Vice President St. John at UNB. Together with the president at that time, Dr. Eddie Campbell, we visited Ralph in his office to talk about Prout. We used to go downstairs to one of his favorite restaurants, where we shared his favorite dish and listened to his passionate stories. And this occasion are memorable to me because Ralph was extremely passionate, as you all know, but he also was very calm. And that kind of stuck with me, the passion and the calmness. And Ralph was given the honorary degree from UNB here in St. John in 2019 that year. It was also an honor to have met his team, and I guarantee you that you will recognize them because no matter where they are, who they are with, or when, they are speaking up for diversity loud and clear. Many of us have had an experience related to equity, diversity, or inclusion, where someone was impacted by a bias, or where maybe you unintendedly and accidentally did something offensive. I learned this myself when I came to Canada. I actually thought when I came here that there would be no cultural difference. However, I quickly realized that this was not quite the case. While my colleagues back in Nova Scotia then knew my background and were supportive and welcoming, it was the little things that caught my attention. For example, when I met people in the community for the first time, and I could sense the change in their nature when they heard my name or my accent. I know not every newcomer had that experience, but in fact, many Canadians of different backgrounds and abilities are facing discrimination across the country. And it starts early. For example, when you're a girl and select mathematics as your high school major, when you're growing up in a working-class family and decide to go to university instead of taking a job, when you are first generation at the university and are excluded from student-led activities because you don't have an academic pedigree. While these are not traumatic experiences compared to what some people are still facing, these experiences shaped my path, and it brought to my attention that discrimination is always around us. Today, I'm very proud to come from a working-class family and to be first generation. For a long time, I was the only one in my extended family with a graduate degree. This has changed. Now my niece just finished her master's degree in business administration, and my daughter is in her final year of her Bachelor of Education program. I strongly believe in the power of education, in the power of education to change lives, to change perspectives, and to open minds. Now, as a researcher, an academic scholar, and an administrator at a post-secondary education, I have the opportunity to be part of this change, to lead change. And I believe that every step we take in the right direction will impact generations to come. And that is why the work of Broad is so important. We need to follow in Broad's trailblazing steps. And every one of us must take steps every day, seize every opportunity. Recognizing and embracing diversity is key to achieving our collective goals. By respecting the needs, perspectives, and potential of every person, we can transform our community and our province. We must remove systemic barriers and biases, and we need to lift each other up. This is the only way forward. Every step matters. Every action has an impact and may seem small, but it can result in significant change. Little things can become big things, and often we don't realize the impact we actually have on someone's day. For example, when I was a child, I became a leader without knowing. I stood up for my class in junior high. My classmates were not ready to take an exam, and they wanted to have an extra practice session with a different testing date from the teacher. So they asked me if I could ask for it, and I did. And we got the extra practice session, and we did the test later. This doesn't sound like much, but I can tell you that this teacher was the most scary teacher I ever had. So this is only one example that every single person can be an advocate for what is right and stand up for others, but also for yourself. As a leader and a change champion, I always say to our students, everyone can be a leader. You have to find the potential in yourself. And today, I'm saying everyone can be a champion of diversity. We all have the potential to make a difference. At the University of New Brunswick, we have committed to equity, diversity, and inclusion to create a supportive environment in which to study and work. Ralph's honorary degree is one symbol of our journey. We envision a community where everyone is respected and equity is rooted in all areas of life. We are taking some necessary steps. For instance, everyone has the option to choose how they are identified. We are also adding our gender and preferred pronouns to our email signatures and workspaces. So the act of recognizing that our community is inclusive of all genders, we create a more welcoming, supportive, and dynamic environment. We all have something to contribute so that every person should feel welcome and safe. In truly inclusive environments, each individual is treated with respect and fully able to participate and thrive. These are simple and important steps, but they are not enough. There's still a lot of work to do in achieving these goals. We as a university and as a community have a role to play in building awareness, calling out problems, raising issues, and Brood is helping us to get there. One way to overcome cultural differences is sharing stories, is sharing food, is sharing music, is to learn about diverse traditions by creating synergy and harmony. Equity, diversity, and inclusion, in my opinion, is more than welcoming newcomers into our community. It is also about creating a space that is safe and respectful for all cultural values and backgrounds to thrive in their own respects, not only to help others to find a new home away from home, but also to enrich our own experience and learnings. For example, as a professor, I taught lifespan development, and one of my first classes would ask students to compare their own childhood with the childhood of their parents and their grandparents. And we were asking them always, what is still the same and what has changed? And I can tell you one of the most inspiring classes I had was when I had students from Canada, from Switzerland, Mongolia, Nigeria, and Brazil. Because then it was really obvious how different childhood can be in different cultures and in different generations. And as I benefited in this class from a diverse student population, organizations equally benefit from having diverse voices around the table, bringing their own unique perspectives that drive our institutions forward. We can together expand mindsets and change biases, so inclusion of all voices. And don't underestimate the impact of equity, diversity, and inclusion on economic growth. Employees feel empowered to grow their careers. Individuals may feel supported to branch out and create new opportunities for themselves, such as starting a new business. Newcomers who will welcomed will stay in our community and become an integral part of our community. UMB's vision includes increasing the enrollment of international students. St. John's MBA program, for example, attracts students and faculty from around the world, and I know that we have a group of our students here tonight joining us. The program is directly engaged with the community and has built-in experiential learning opportunities to create more interaction, dialogue, and ultimately relationships. We are always in touch with our students. When flights are delayed or bags are lost, we make arrangements to pick them up or help them to get the much-needed supplies. In normal times, we have regular activities and events in the community to build connections and get more familiar with St. John. During COVID, the Faculty of Business helped the students to set up group chats, for example, on their phones so they can informally connect with each other, which was especially important during the self-isolation period. Just imagine you're coming into a new country and the first thing you're doing is sitting 2 weeks in an apartment all by yourself. So the orientation includes also sensitivity sessions, which means learning about the cultures from each other. And remember, these are our next generation of leaders, bringing fresh ideas, fresh visions, and new energy to the city of St. John. I'm proud of St. John's multiculturalism. Our city has many organizations dedicated to welcoming newcomers and celebrating the various cultures in our community, and we so often come together to support groups committed to making St. John a better place for all. Championing the successes of newcomers is one way we can support each other. Tonight is just one other example of how we can do this. St. John is a community which I have learned when I came here 2.5 years ago, a community that cares, a community who cares and lifts each other up, rolls up their sleeves, and gets things done. We have tonight 20 outstanding nominees from our community who are leading the way for diversity and inclusion. No matter the outcome, we all win because of their tireless work and contributions to our society. In many regions around the world, newcomers, people of color, and indigenous peoples continue to face discrimination and systemic racism. Any person labeled as different, be their race, their gender identity, or abilities, is othered and excluded by those in power. Even Canada is struggling with this issue. We are not perfect, but we are having these conversations, these events, and we are reflecting on how our actions have consequences. On the other hand, the actions we take can also create positive change. Prout is a crown jewel here in St. John. 40 years ago, a group of passionate individuals came together to inspire citizens to embrace all cultural communities living in the region. They also helped those facing racism, as we learned through the videos. Prout is a shining example of how we can create stronger, friendlier, and richer community. And we will continue to build upon the sturdy foundation Prout has provided us as we transform St. John for the better for everyone. One thing I can promise you tonight is that I will do everything in my power to continue this progress. The stories we are sharing tonight will inspire current and future leaders, and I hope my story adds value to this. So by now, I hope I answered your question of who this woman is and why she is our keynote speaker. I don't have a long list of accomplishments to present, but I see myself as another symbol for the shared vision we have about equity, diversity, and inclusion, and as a reminder that every one of us has the potential to lead change. A young person will see how inclusiveness can positively affect their future. A business person will be inspired to commit to diversity and equity in their organization. A newcomer will see themselves represented and feel safe to pursue their dreams in our community and in our country. And with this, I thank you for your attention and challenge. It wouldn't be me without ending with a challenge. I challenge you to be the strongest advocate for diversity you can be, every day, step by step, loud and clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hoff. You spoke truly on diversity matters. Thank you. Next, let's welcome a video greeting from the Honorable Arlene Dunn, who is responsible Minister of Aboriginal Affairs, Economic Development and Small Business, Opportunities and Immigration.
I just wanted to honor Sheila. We all had, those who know her had a tremendous experience of friendship with Sheila. And I just wanted to thank Prout for including her family. And I've got my friend here, Brandy Stanovic, who's the president of the board of the nonprofit organization, the Indigenous Women of the Wabanaki Territories here. She's come down from Fredericton to continue honoring Sheila's work. So I think Sheila would be very happy that she's been honored, and she's with us every day, and her daughter and her grandchildren are very thankful to you. So thank you, and I look forward to continuing the dream of a friendship center being realized in St. John, and also of the friendship and diversity that we can continue to learn from and celebrate and enjoy together. And I want to thank my friend Sheila for everything that she gave to me and to this community. Thank you.
Her outstanding contribution to our community started almost 20 years ago, first at UNB St. John, then through involvement with nonprofit sectors by managing programs, coordinating events, and volunteering with different organizations and causes in the region. Today, she is our managing director. She is a heartfelt promoter of inclusiveness and equality. Please welcome our managing director, Lee Song.
Wow, what a night. So believe it or not, there's 3 pages, but it's all the thank you note. And thank you so much for coming in this beautiful night. And just like Mayor Brittany said, in 2 years, we missed event like this. In 2019, we had 400 people filled the seat, and then beautiful crowd. And then here we combat COVID, and then we have 200 people sitting here. Thank you so much. My name is Lee Song, Managing Director of Prude Inc. We're really proud to be here celebrating with all the nominees. We have 7 categories. We have award winners, but all the nominees, everyone deserves to win tonight. So thank you for making your contribution, make this place to be more diverse and more inclusive. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors, Port St. John, RBC, Royal Bank, Donna Mazuro, Associate Chartered Professional Accountant, QP National in Joe Terrio's name, supporters, Anglophone South School District South, Asian Heritage New Brunswick St. John Chapter, Coast Tire Auto, Exit Realty Specialist, Greater St. John Chinese Cultural Association, iCar Digital, Irving Oil, Imperial Theater, Key Industries, NB Black History Society, and NB Black Lives Matter, New Brunswick Multicultural Council, St. John Newcomer Center, Teen Resource Center, UNB St. John, UNB Associate Alumni, Union of Youth Newcomers, Wyndham Hotel and Resort, Government of New Brunswick Working NB, City of St. John, Town of Grand Bay Westfield, Town of Rossi, Town of Queens Memphis. Thank you all for coming. I also like to acknowledge our Minister Trevor Holder, Minister Savoy, Minister Crossman, and Speakers of House Bill Oliver. Thank you for making it tonight. Most important is our staff members and our board members. So I'd like to acknowledge our team. I took the role in 2018. We had a team of 5. I gave the promise to the board, said, I will do my best. I won't try. I will do my best. So we're growing our team. In the past 40 years, we have done a fantastic job in this community to raise awareness and to build a diversity and to champion, to walk the walk and talk. So our team right now have 10 staff members, including me. There's Lee Song, Cindy Kilpatrick, Romy Lai, Lin Zhang, and Damon Levine. We have Omar Murad and Gary Flanagan, Christine Iroko, Willington Bag, and also our newest member, Brenda Diaz. Thank you so much for your hard work and putting on this beautiful night. On to our future next 40 years. Of course, we cannot go on further without the guidance of our board of directors. So in this slide, we need to recognize our current board president, Karen Hashi, our past president, Ralph Thomas, and our treasurer, Shayan Sahab, and our vice president, Jasmine Gran, and our long-term member, Cindy Bishop, currently sitting as secretary, and then also our board of directors, Jeff Spark, Leonard Adams, and Glenn Hicks, Mary Ann Miracle, and Joe Terrio. Thank you so much for your guidance. I'd like to also thank the suppliers, Elegant by Bridget, Encore, Global Convention, Lester Trophy, Hilton St. John, Rod Steers Photography, and Sankira Cuisine. Without your help, we cannot make a night to be the beautiful night. And to end the speech, I'm sure that you have heard many inspiration notes, and from our guest speakers tonight, I don't want to go too long, but just like our Dr. Petra Hoff has said, everyone can be the champion. Start from everyone. You can build a diversity and inclusion right from your doorstep, right from your neighbor. Inviting someone in this year, I challenge you, meet someone you don't know, and to learn a cultural difference from one thing to another. So it doesn't have to be more. We just need to step back, think about it. We're more of the similar than the differences. Thank you very much.